Hey guys, in today's video we're going to do the exact same thing as last times, except for we're going to use radian angles instead of degree angles. All right, let's jump into it. So last time we discussed that like 4 times the cosine of pi over 6 plus I times the sine of pi over 6, we would normally write that in what we were using as a cis notation, 4 cis pi over 6. All right. Remember that cis stands for cosine plus I sine. That's where that's coming from. It's just a lot shorter to write it that way, so we'll do that instead of how Delta Math is writing it. But again, to convert into rectangular, really easy because x is just going to be r times the cosine of theta, and y is going to be r times the sine of theta. Just with this one, we're having thetas that are radians instead of thetas that are degrees. So this is actually really pretty straightforward. So x is going to equal 4 times the cosine of pi over 6, which if you have a unit circle handy, cosine at pi over 6 is root 3 over 2. So that just reduces down a little bit to 2 root 3. And then the y value, that's going to be 4 times the sine of pi over 6. And again, with that unit circle, sine at pi over 6 is just 1/2. So it's really just 4 times 1/2, which is 2. Okay, and we just have to remember that our y component has I. That's the imaginary component. So my answer is going to be 2 square roots of 3 plus 2i. All right, let's do another one. Here's one, okay, 2 cis pi over 6. Wow, really easy. X is going to be 2 times the cosine of pi over 6, which from the last example, we just said that cosine of pi over 6 is root 3 over 2. So this one's just square root of 3 for the real component. Then the imaginary component is going to be 2 times the sine of pi over 6. And sine at pi over 6 is just 1/2. So this is going to be 2 times 1/2, or just 1 with an I. All right, so writing this final answer, root 3 is the real component. I'm not going to put the 1 in front of the I for the imaginary component. It's just going to be root 3 plus I. Let's do one more. Well, let's not do one more because I gave the same problem. So you'll practice a couple more on Delta Math and it'll be good to go. No big deal there. Before we leave, I do want to thank today's sponsor, which was a pretty famous Fisher-Price toy that you've probably all played with when you were a kid. And obviously that was the flesh-eating telephone by Fisher-Price, the original pull toy that craves the taste of human flesh. When pulled, eyes roll up and down, scanning for the next meal. Creepy stare, and telephone does not work. Don't bother calling for help. What a great classic toy to bring back those horrible, horrible memories. All right, enjoy your day, guys.